The year was 1909, a time when the world was on the cusp of great change. In the heart of the Gold Coast, a boy named Kwame Nkrumah was born in the humble village of Nkrumah, a place where the spirit of Africa thrived. Life was simple, rooted deeply in the traditions of their ancestors, where every day was a testament to resilience and community. The air was thick with the scent of the earth, the rhythm of drums echoing through the lush vegetation, creating a symphony of life. Young Kwame, full of life and curiosity, ran barefoot through the village paths, his laughter mingling with the sounds of nature. Little did anyone know this child of Africa held within him the destiny of a continent, a future leader in the making. Kwame's early life was one of modest means, yet rich in cultural heritage and familial love. His family, though not wealthy, instilled in him the values of hard work, respect, and the importance of education. He learned the importance of community, of unity in the face of hardship, and the strength that comes from standing together. These early lessons would shape his character, forging within him a deep love for his people and a burning desire for their liberation, a fire that would never be extinguished. Kwame's father, a goldsmith, saw the spark of potential in his son, a glimmer of greatness. He encouraged Kwame's thirst for knowledge, enrolling him in the local mission school, a place where his mind would be opened to new possibilities. It was here that Kwame first encountered the power of education, a tool that would become his weapon in the fight for freedom. He devoured books, his mind expanding with each page, each word a step towards his destiny. He learned about the wider world, about the empires that stretched across the seas, and about the plight of his people under colonial rule, a reality that fueled his growing sense of injustice. As Kwame grew older, so did his awareness of the injustices faced by his people, a burden that weighed heavily on his young shoulders. The seeds of revolution were sown in his heart, watered by the tears of his people and the yearning for a brighter future, a future where freedom was not just a dream but a reality. He knew his destiny lay beyond the borders of his village, in the fight for the liberation of his homeland and the entire African continent, a mission that would define his life. The boy from Nkrumah was ready to answer the call of history, to become a beacon of hope for his people and a symbol of the African struggle for independence. The 1940s arrived, bringing with them the tremors of change. The Gold Coast, like much of Africa, found itself caught in the grip of colonial rule. The British Empire, vast and powerful, held sway over the land and its people. The air crackled with discontent as the winds of change swept across the continent. The Second World War had raged across the globe, leaving its scars on the world. African soldiers, conscripted to fight for the empire, returned home with a newfound sense of purpose. They had witnessed firsthand the fragility of the colonial powers. The myth of European invincibility had been shattered. Within the Gold Coast, a spirit of resistance was brewing. The people, tired of exploitation and oppression, yearned for self-determination. The call for independence echoed through the streets, carried on the lips of market women, students and farmers. A new generation of leaders emerged, ready to challenge the status quo. Political organizations sprouted like mushrooms after the rain. They debated, strategized, and mobilized the masses. The air thrummed with anticipation, a palpable sense that the old order was crumbling. Kwame Nkrumah, now a young man, found himself at the heart of this burgeoning movement. He had returned from his studies abroad, his mind ablaze with ideas and his heart filled with the fire of liberation. The stage was set for a momentous struggle, a fight for the soul of a nation. Kwame Nkrumah's journey for knowledge led him far from the shores of his homeland, embarking on a voyage that would change the course of his life and the destiny of his people. He traveled across the vast Atlantic, seeking higher education in the land of the colonizers, a place where he hoped to gain the tools needed to liberate his people. He immersed himself in the hallowed halls of Lincoln University in Pennsylvania, United States, a place renowned for nurturing African-American leaders. It was here, in the crucible of intellectual ferment, that his mind was truly awakened, ignited by the vibrant exchange of ideas and the pursuit of knowledge. Nkrumah delved into the works of great thinkers, his mind ignited by their words, absorbing their revolutionary ideas and philosophies. He devoured the writings of Webb Du Bois, the African-American sociologist and Pan-Africanist, whose works provided a profound critique of colonialism and racism. Du Bois's searing indictment of colonialism and his passionate advocacy for the unity of African peoples resonated deeply with Nkrumah, shaping his vision for a liberated Africa. Marcus Garvey's message of black pride and self-reliance also struck a chord within Nkrumah, inspiring him to believe in the power of self-determination. Garvey, a Jamaican-born activist, had ignited a global movement for black liberation, advocating for economic independence and cultural pride. His call for Africans to reclaim their heritage and chart their own destiny resonated powerfully with Nkrumah, reinforcing his commitment to the cause. These intellectual giants, along with other luminaries like Mahatma Gandhi, whose philosophy of non-violent resistance inspired millions, shaped Nkrumah's worldview and approach to activism. He realized that the struggle for African liberation was not merely a political one, but a battle for the very soul of a people, a fight for their identity and dignity. Nkrumah's time in America was a period of intense intellectual growth and political awakening, a transformative experience that would guide his future endeavors. He immersed himself in the African-American community, participating in rallies, debates, and organizing efforts, learning from their struggles and triumphs. He witnessed firsthand the struggles against racial discrimination and segregation, drawing parallels to the plight of his own people back home, strengthening his resolve. These experiences solidified his resolve to fight for the liberation of all oppressed peoples, fueling his determination to lead his nation to freedom. Upon his return to the Gold Coast in 1947, Kwame Nkrumah found a nation on the cusp of transformation. The winds of change were blowing and the people were yearning for a new direction, a break from the colonial past that had long stifled their aspirations. The United Gold Coast Convention, a nascent political party advocating for self-governance, had emerged as a leading voice for change. This party, formed by the educated elite and traditional leaders, sought to negotiate a gradual transition to self-rule. They invited Nkrumah to become their general secretary, recognizing his intellect and organizational skills. His education abroad and his exposure to global anti-colonial movements made him an ideal candidate to galvanize the party's efforts. Nkrumah, however, soon realized that his vision for the Gold Coast's future diverged from the UGCC's more gradual approach. He believed that the time for half measures was over and that the people deserved immediate and complete independence. He saw the need for a more radical grassroots movement, one that would empower the masses and demand immediate independence. Nkrumah's vision was clear, a united front of ordinary people, workers and farmers, all rallying for a common cause. The UGCC, dominated by intellectuals and traditional chiefs, seemed hesitant to fully embrace the aspirations of the ordinary people. Their cautious approach did not resonate with the growing impatience among the populace. In 1949, Nkrumah took a bold step. He decided that the only way forward was to break away from the UGCC and chart a new course that aligned with his vision for immediate independence. He broke away from the UGCC and founded the Convention People's Party. This new party was built on the principles of rapid and decisive action, aiming to mobilize the masses for a swift transition to self-rule. The CPP, with its slogan "Self-Government Now," resonated with the hopes and dreams of the people. It was a clarion call that echoed through the towns and villages, igniting a fervor for immediate change. It quickly gained massive support, particularly among the youth, workers and farmers who saw in Nkrumah a leader who truly understood their struggles. His message of empowerment and immediate action struck a chord with those who had long felt marginalized. The CPP's message was simple yet powerful. The time for gradualism was over. The people were ready to take their destiny into their own hands and demand the freedom that was rightfully theirs. The people of the Gold Coast deserved immediate independence, free from the shackles of colonial rule. The momentum was building, and the call for freedom was becoming impossible to ignore. Nkrumah's charisma, combined with his powerful oratory and unwavering commitment to the cause, galvanized the nation. His speeches were electrifying, and his vision for a free and prosperous Gold Coast inspired countless individuals to join the movement. He traveled tirelessly across the country, speaking at rallies, organizing protests, and mobilizing the masses. His relentless efforts ensured that the message of the CPP reached every corner of the Gold Coast. Nkrumah's break from the UGCCC marked a turning point in the Gold Coast's struggle for independence. It was a decisive moment that signaled a new era in the fight against colonialism. It signaled the rise of a new kind of leadership, one rooted in the aspirations of the ordinary people. This leadership was not content with half measures. It demanded full and immediate independence. The battle lines were drawn, and the stage was set for a showdown with the colonial authorities. The struggle for independence had reached a critical juncture, and the determination of the people, led by Nkrumah, would soon bring about a new dawn for the Gold Coast.